See? So I cleared this instead of doing the full clear. And I see them fighting. I see them all going mid. I was like, okay. This is the perfect opportunity for the bear special. So this is what you guys gotta look for. And I only have 2 items. I'm ready to go. See, they're all there. And watch this. I cleared this. They don't see me. Alright, watch. So I'm gonna put this on red. You see how they don't see me? They don't see me at all. I'm in the fog of war. This is how you win games right here. So they don't know I'm up here until right here. And now they're going back.
Artheo ends the game. Keep fucking stalling their backs. Stall the backs. Stop the ports! Stop the ports! Stop the ports! Stop the ports! Artheo!
Welcome back to another Shrinebreaker gameplay. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a brief moment. So I'm going to be doing a jungle series because majority of Volibear mains are jungle. But many of you are very curious how I would play my playstyle, the breaker style, the Shrinebreaker playstyle in the jungle. So apologize if you hear my kids in the background. But anyway, the biggest key is I'm looking to understand how to play my playstyle efficiently in the jungle. How to use hullbreaker the best way possible in the jungle. Now I know this isn't meta. This isn't the norm that people tend to play in the jungle, and they probably think it's troll. But I'm telling you, it's not. You can definitely play it in the jungle. It's even better this season now that Hullbreaker doesn't have a restriction. You don't have to be alone. You can actually be with your teammates. Another thing to point out is Hullbreaker has movement speed, which is really good for jungle. And it also does damage to epic monsters. What that means is you do more damage to Dragon, you do more damage to Baron, you do more damage to, the Rift Herald, and stuff like that. And I believe to the grubbies too. I don't know if they counted the epic monsters, but I would have to confirm that. Usually by the second grubbies, you could possibly have Hullbreaker. So that's a potential there. So I'm going to be experimenting throughout this whole jungle series. It's been a long time since I played jungle. I used to be a jungle main back when, the old bear exists. Then after that, I just fell in love with top lane with the new bear. Being able to dive towers and stuff like that. To me personally, I think he's the best in the top lane, but I want to show you that you can play this style in the jungle. So there's going to be a lot of trial and errors, and I'm just going to kind of share my experience, what I'm noticing, things that I want to improve on, just so I can point it out to, new players, but also see what you guys think. Junglers out there, not that I need any backseating or anything, but it's more so, how can I make this playstyle better? How can I apply this to jungle compared to top lane? So that's what this video is going to be all about. All right, let's jump into the runes real quick. So y'all know Cocaine Bear runes. We run Lethal Tempo, and this is what I use for top lane. We're going to be running for the jungle, so instead of Presence of Mind Second Wind, which is my to-go-to for top lane, you need that sustain, you need the ability to stay there and not have to recall all the time. So for jungle, you don't have to worry about that. You got sustain. You can heal off the camps. You got your W, and the jungle item itself kind of sustains you, plus the red buff, blue buff. So we don't need this. We switch to Triumph, and then we're going to keep Demolish, but we're going to switch to Overgrowth. and get more health. The more health you have, the more attack speed, uh, the better for hullbreaker. Because hullbreaker scales off both of those. So the hullbreaker scales off health, but the attack speed works with the skipper passive. So that's why we want these set of runes. So that's what I'm going for here. Down here, don't matter. Any of these work. But me personally, ever since they changed the cut down rune, I kind of like it better. So I'm just going to run that. Otherwise, you can go last stand. Probably the best option. But it's up to you. So that's what I'm running for runes. All right. So now we're going to talk about the itemization. So this is for jungle. And this is kind of my preference. What I like to do is I like to get these recall boots. I'm a huge fan of the recall boots. If you don't like these, I highly recommend Swifties. Cooldown boots are good too. Me personally, I want to be able to move. I want to be able to, get on the map quicker. So recall Swifties are my top favorite options for Volibear. I feel like he's just too slow with the cooldown boots. Um, Even though you get your abilities up sooner, I just don't really personally like them. Um, and the next thing is, first thing I want to do is focus on is Russian Hullbreaker. So if anything, I'd probably prioritize Tunneler, the movement speed, and then maybe attack speed if I can afford it. But otherwise, I always try to focus on Hullbreaker, and then once you get that, you go straight into Nash's. And you want as much attack speed as you possibly can get. You got Lethal Tempo, you got Alacrity, and then Nash's, which is going to be a huge power spike with Hullbreaker. You can start shredding those towers, get no skipper passive off every single target that you're attacking, and then we're going to go straight into what I usually like to build, Iceborne, Riftmaker, and Spirit. I think this is the perfect setup for Volibear. Other options here, you got Titanic, you got Cosmic, you got Storm Surge. I love Storm Surge. Of course, Flicker Blade. You can go with that. Other tank options I really like here. I like Zeke's. It's super cheap to buy. You get armor, MR right off the bat, and you can snowball with this. It works well with your ult. Uh, get an extra slow for a couple more seconds. It's really nice. It helps you apply that on-hit damage that you have. Um, Dead Man's Force of Nature, you can't go wrong with that. You got Frozen Heart, Unending, um, Thornmail, Morello. You got Heartsteel, which you could go. Heartsteel and Warmock's super good with Hullbreaker. Winter, you can't go wrong with that. And one of my favorite items to run is Hexblade, so that's optional too. So that's it for the itemization part. So let's head to the gameplay, and we're going to talk about you know some experiences that I'm having throughout my gameplay, what I can do to improve it for the next time. All right, so I'm starting blue since I'm on this side of the map. I'm actually gonna check in here. If nobody's here, I take all of this shit, gank top, and then I just go and finish this. All right, so I'm gonna talk about this little jungle clearing whole setup, why I'm starting on top side. And main reason why I'm starting on top side is because the void grubbies are the most important thing early, and the rift. And the Shrinebreaker playstyle in general is all about the early game, and Volibear is incredibly strong in the early game. So you want as much pressure down on the map as possible. So obviously we want to limit the amount of dragons that the enemy also takes. So if we can do that, that's going to give us a lot more room for the bear special and our ability to end the game. So you can see here, I'm starting at the enemy red buff. So I wooded it, he's not there, so that's my opportunity to take that. There's so many things that I can explain on starting topside. So whether I start my blue buff or the enemy red buff, it's the same setup on the other side of the map. I'm going to start red, but I'm going to look for the opportunity to take the enemy's blue. So it's the same side. So I always want to be top side when I start. So yeah, so let's watch what happens. I don't know what Zoe's doing. She's like completely. I'm gonna go get my red first, just so he can't have it. So you can see here, I wanted to get red right away because I knew Ivan was going to go for that. So I think that was a good play there. It was just unfortunate that Zoe decided to go stop Proxy's Garen, which gave Ivan visions, so it kind of fucked up my full clear. So it is what it is, so I had to work with the situation here.
Mortals fail. The wild remain.
Alright, so right away I'm noticing Ivan has no buffs. So I don't know what he has done. Maybe he had blue buff before. I don't know, but like it seems like he has no buffs whatsoever. I don't know why he's at the crab. He's all over the place right now.
An enemy has been slain.
Whatever. Whatever. Alright, I'm gonna clear bot's top. Grubby's gonna be up in a minute. Got the shittiest clear. Oh, I don't know, man. Maybe it wasn't worth taking his red. So right here, I said it. Maybe it wasn't worth taking his red. It's all because of the awkward clear. It's mainly because Zoe decided to go for the Garen early instead of staying in lane, which gave Ivan vision. But at the same time, Ivan's wasting a lot of time. I don't think he took a buff yet. It's like he was worried about me taking his camp's top side. So I managed to get Ivan to go to my red, which wasted even more time. He took nothing. And then all of a sudden he's at top side crabs. So in a sense, I'm wasting Ivan's time. That's good. But at the same time, I didn't want this to be an awkward kind of clear. You know what I mean? So it's something I gotta look out for in the future. All right, this is something I want to talk about right here. If you back it up. So right here, this is minor mistake, but it makes a huge difference. So when I'm clearing a ward, I know I'm trying to do it as fast as possible so I can gank. I think I should have just ignored this ward completely and just gank. But instead, I decided to waste my Q on a ward, and that's not very good. So in the future, I gotta remember not to do that. So you can see right here, there's the Q, which I could use to gank. All right, so other than me, wasting my Q, it did work out. But another thing, I made another mistake that I have to point out. My bot lane died. He's playing Cog. He's got a passive. He can walk up and he was signaling me not to get the kill because he could kill him potentially. Potentially, I think he could have gotten the kill. So it was my bad for taking that. Right there. I tried to get a double kill here. It's unfortunate. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I think I definitely should have just let him have it. So that's the only thing I would change there. Whoopsie doo. Moving on.
Slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Get the fuck off me, man. Like, fuck off. Jesus, this Ivan. Alright, so right here you can see I did a full clear from top to bot. And I put a ward in the dragon pit. And the main reason is because I am trying to limit the amount of dragons that the enemy takes. But I'm not going to force dragon at all. I don't want to force it. With this playstyle, I don't want to force it. If bot lane, mid lane are in a position to do it, I'll do it. I don't want to risk dying here and giving up with grubbies if it spawns, or like the Shelly. So we can't afford to do that. So what I'm going to do is put ward there, give vision, and try to signal to my teammates to annoy the enemy jungler from taking this. And if I can do that, that will help delay the amount of dragons that they take. And it can also help me get the grubbies too. Let's say if the grubbies are up and they decide to do the dragon, I can ping and they can distract them and cause a lot of chaos and whatever, and I can just focus on getting the grubbies.
Blood. Many have tried to end me.
Alright. Top lane is looking rough. 0-3. Jesus. So right here, I'm noticing that top lane's looking rough. Gragas is kicking this Garen's ass, but I still have to. I have to stick to the plan. So I'm level 6 now. I almost have hullbreaker. My goal is to get hullbreaker ASAP, and then start ganking when the canyon wave pulls up. So that's the idea. When you go to hullbreaker rush, it's time to gank. You got your ult. You're level 6. Pull up on the canyon wave, and that's all you got to do. And one gank can. That's all it takes. When you get the grubbies, especially the first set, and you gank, that tower is going to fall easily with hullbreaker rush. And then even more so, you can take these towers very easy with all 6 grubbies. So that's the goal. What? So Garen's pinging. the shit out of me. So right here, I know after this camp here, I got a gank to make something happen for him. And the thing is, the second set of grubbies are up, so I'm gonna be able to take that.
Face their ancestors, stuck between my teeth.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Alright, so this moment here where I went to gank Garen's lane and I full-on dived Gragas, which was good. I had my ult and everything, but I don't know why the Garen wasn't pulling up. So if you watch this play, so I'm on my way. I don't know why he's not going in. He gets hit with the barrel, I guess, which is bad on him. I don't know why he's not able to dodge that, but he's not pulling up at all. Nothing. Not even walking up. I have ult. Like he could have been up here. So it's really unfortunate I died here. So he still manages to get the kill, which is great, but like I didn't have to die there. So next time I notice that my laners are doing this, I'm just gonna bail. Like I'm just gonna leave. Oh Jesus. I don't know why he's not pulling up. Now I'm gonna miss these grubbies. Alright, we take these grubbies, then I go back for hullbreaker.
Shut down. Double kill.
I will unleash the prairie on.
So there's a lot of drama happening here. Ivan manages to take one grubby, whatever, and you can see down here below, I have 3, so that's 4, 5 total. So we got most of them. So we're just missing one, which is fine. I would rather be 50-50 minimum. 3 grubbies is fair. 4, 5, that's great. That's fantastic. All 6, oh, excellent. So that's always going to be my goal, to try to get these. We got most of the grubbies. Yeah, I don't want to pull up on that.
Turret plating will fall soon.
So just to be clear on this, the reason why I didn't want to pull up on this is because I'm waiting for the canyon wave. That's very important. I want to gank on a canyon wave and take the entire lane. Good teleport.
Men speak in small words. I speak in thunder.
Alright. So we'll just talk about this little moment right here. I shouldn't have to gank this lane. He actually played it very well. The only thing he had to do was just walk up and auto. Just walk up and auto her and she's dead, but instead he's trying to use his abilities. But it's whatever. He got the kill. Nothing's happening here.
Shut down.
So this gank right here, the way I walked up on not is so that I could secure this kill. Wait for your abilities like your Q, your next W, your E. All these things are going to keep Not in check and make it easier for my team to kill him. Nice.
Dance upon the sword.
So I have the hullbreaker. Now I'm going to gank. Like, of course, Ivern.
All will tremble.
Ivern! Fuck that guy. Alright, so in this particular moment, I see Garen waiting, and Gragas is pulling up to the tower. So we can make a play here and then take this tower. I can get the rift. So that's the plan there. What wave is pulling up? Alright, canyon wave. Should be able to take this whole tower. So the canyon wave is pulling up. It's perfect timing. I have the hullbreaker. We can walk up, take this whole tower. Now I can move on, and you can see Gragas typed down here. He said, "You guys waited." I don't know what he was thinking, but I was still in the neighborhood.
Roar the world into stillness. So much.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret.
They have forgotten the old ways.
Rampage.
Blood and bone.
Has destroyed a turret.
So ideally, if I had to play this better, I should have already been there to keep that rift alive. To use it on one tower is kind of not. It's okay. It's not that great. You want to use it on two at least. That's really good. And or even better, you can get the inhibitor or a third tower or something like that. Sometimes you can drive it around to another area like mid lane. You can see everybody mid lane. That would be ideal. And me wasting a lot of times on the Krugs, it's like, yeah, it's nice to take that, but in this situation, I got the rift. I need to fully utilize it. So that's one thing I regret here. But yeah, you can basically disable the tower, keep the Shelly alive, and then you'll be able to drive it into the next. So I could have done that better. All right, so in this particular situation, I managed to get out. I don't know why Garen didn't leave sooner, but it's whatever. I try to help him, drop my E, slow the target, see if he can get out that way. Otherwise, it's there's nothing I can do. I'm not gonna die for this. Nothing I can do there. Alright, boss starting to pop the fuck off, which is good. Alright, so I'm doing a full clear. The biggest thing that I want to highlight is that 20 minutes of the game, every wave is a canyon wave now. So I don't have to worry about pulling up on a canyon wave. At 20 minutes, every wave is. So I can do full clear when I have cleared whatever side of a jungle or both sides. I'm ready to go. I can just walk up to a wave because I know every wave has a canyon. So that's a nice thing about 20 minutes. In 20 minutes, also everybody gets the red buff or the blue buff. So you can see here it's a void-like red buff, so that means everybody gets it. So that's the beautiful thing about 20 minutes.
Your turret has been destroyed.
See what I mean? Bot lane's like coin flip lane. It really is. So when I say bot lane's a coin flip lane, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but from my experience in my games as a jungler, I noticed that either your bot lane is fed or the enemy is. There's no middle ground. It's rare to see a game where it's 50-50. These days, it's rare. It's either your side is snowballing or their side is snowballing. And when their side's snowballing, there's hell to pay. It's hard to fucking win a game when that happens. So I'm glad that my team bot side is doing well. Yeah, I did gank a few times. I actually picked up 2 kills, but the one where Ivan was bot, that moment right there was when my bot lane started to take off. So, I try my best to be there to stop, in an invasion like that and try to see if I can get my bot lane ahead, but I'm still working on. I'm still trying to figure out how to like stop this, prevent this like 50-50 coin flip bot lane, because it is insane how much feeding goes on in that lane. And part of it is because they get ganked by the jungler or camped, and I get it, but I have to figure it out. What can I do to make bot lane great again, or whatever you want to say? Jesus, all these wards in my jungle?
I will guide you. Darkening cloud.
An enemy has been slain.
An omen to those who stand against the wild. We are all.
This moment right here is the perfect time for me to take this entire lane. I got an ally with me. I got hullbreaker. Canyon Wave is pulling up, so I'll be able to take this entire thing all the way to the inhibitor. I already taken top lane's 2 towers, and now I'm going to take this all the way up while everybody's fighting mid. Yeah, Baron's up. They could decide to do this, but I don't think they can because I'll just end the game. I also have recall boots, so I can quickly go back and then go right up to Baron if I want to.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And another thing to note, you notice I have Nashers as a second item. Watch these towers shred. You'll be able to pop off that skipper passive. And the thing is, I have Alacrity I have lethal tempo. If I fight somebody and activate it, that's even more. But I have 10% in rune stats or rune shards, whatever you call them. So it's gonna go off a lot more than any other build. Like Nash's, I think it's the best item to pair with Hullbreaker as a second item. But you could technically go any other AP item, or as long as you go attack speed. But Nash's, in my opinion, is the best option. Then Hullbreaker works on the inhibitor. So you can see right here in this situation, if they decide to do Baron, I would just end. But they're not doing it. They're fighting, so I decided to hold off. And my buddy over here decided to go back too. Alright, so in this moment right here, this is the moment right here. So we already taken bot lane. We have the supers pulling up. The next play is Baron, but that doesn't matter. I don't have to be there. Most junglers are there, right? The thing is, I don't need to. I got everything I need. I got Hullbreaker, I got Nashers. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to lay the smackdown on these towers and end the fucking game. So when you look at the map, you notice the dark spots is the fog of war, right? So what you want to do is quickly go up, kill the wave, which you can. You got a lot of attack speed, AP, and stuff like that. So and quickly get into the fog of war. They're not going to see you while they're busy fighting. I'm just going to go bot. I'm pretty sure they're going to be all busy fighting.
I split mountains with my roar.
So right here in this moment, as soon as I cleared that, and it wasn't very many minions there for them to notice me. So they have no idea that I'm here at all. Watch this. They don't even know I'm here. They don't even know I'm here, baby.
Ally has been slain.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Hullbreaker fucking jungle. Here comes the bear special, baby. Game's over. See right here in this moment, as soon as their wave pulled up, that's when they know. But you can see on the map, they're trying to go back and recall and stop me. So what this does in a team fight is it messes up their gameplay a bit. It distracts them, and that gives my team the advantage to make a play. So they're distracted by me. They're trying to go back. They're trying to retreat. That's when my team can go in and annihilate them and stop the port.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Oh man.
Victory.
Classic. You look for windows like that. Like, you know, even though Baron's up, but like you already took the inhibitor and Super's up. Supers are up. You got Hullbreaker, you got Nashers, Tooth. You're ready to go. You look for a window like that. All they're gonna do is fight. And if you use the fog of war to your advantage, you clear the wave real quick. Walk in, they didn't even see you because they're too busy fighting. Oh, that was a beautiful example right there. Gotta give it to bot lane though. Garen was kind of, I don't know. Woo! You see the gold difference. It was a little rough start early, taking his red buff, and it just kind of threw like clearing the jungle camps out of whack. But it's fine. It's all good. It's a gold diff there, and that's what's important. Even my CS wasn't too bad either. Could have been more. And look at that. I got more tower damage than Garen. So yeah, you can play my playstyle in the jungle. Don't be afraid to go hullbreaker rush. It's not troll. I promise you that. Objectives, look at that. Even though like I don't think I even got dragon. I think my team got one. I mean, I only got 2 towers. Garen. I mean, I took towers with Garen, but I don't know why it says. Um, I think it's because I did damage to the Nexus towers. I think Garen might have collected the top 2 towers that I helped him take. So probably why it didn't count. So technically 4 towers. Mid lane was doing well. Bot lane was doing well. Top was doing okay. Doing okay. So it's like even though I'm still working on bot lane, like my issues with bot lane, but I'm just gonna write it off as like they're just inting. That's it. Like there's no way you're defeating that hard because like look at my bot lane for example. I definitely ganked bot lane, so that helped. I think I helped them. I'm not denying that, but to feed that hard, like to die 8 times, seems like a lot. Um, but I will say this: Garen was losing against Gragas. Garen was hard losing. He was pinging. He wanted me to gank. So as soon as I got Hullbreaker, I just pulled up, and that was it. Like I gank and take tower, got the rift, and then we got the second tower. So like even if top is losing, you can still like make a comeback. All right, so there was a lot that happened in the early game with Ivern kind of being all over the place and Zoe showing up, trying to kill a proxy Garen. um, all that chaos in the early game kind of was annoying to deal with, but at the same time, it kind of put Ivern behind. It put me slightly behind because my pathing was a little weird. I'll be honest about that. Slightly behind in CS than I wanted to be in a normal average game. Overall, I was still ahead of Ivern um, with objectives and taking towers, of course. But if I had to look back and play this over, I would say I'm not getting as much demolished pox off as I should be. So how to change that? Okay, so in comparison to top lane at 5 minute mark, I walk up to a tower and I get a plate because Demolisher's ready to go at that time. Anytime before that, Demolisher's weak. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So at 5 minute mark, I usually am level 6 top lane. In jungle, I'm not. I'm actually just shy. So about 6 minutes in, I should be level 6. Uh, or rough a take around there. But just saying that mid and top, I think are level 6 before jungle is usually. Um, so keeping that in mind, wait until level 6 in the jungle, and then you want to gank on the canyon wave, no matter what, because that's going to give you the best dive when that canyon wave is up at the tower. Because otherwise, the enemy's just going to clear it, and then you're just going to end up suffering some tower shots and whatnot. So that's the only change I would make is try to gank at level 6 on a canyon wave, and especially when you have Hullbreaker. When you take the first set of grubbies, that's even more reason to gank on a canyon wave because when you pop out those grubbies with the canyon wave, that's going to buy you even more time. Uh, and of course the proc to demolish more often. And I wasn't doing that enough this game, so I'll point that out. So that's gonna improve. But I gotta say, once 20 minutes hit, oh my god, it was so good because I could just open up a lane, any lane, and I saw the opportunity bot lane, and that gave me the supers. And just being able to go there and end the fucking game yourself is really nice. But at the same time, you could also do it with your teammate. You could drop a wood, and you might notice, by the way, I don't take sweepers. And the main reason is because I want my laners that have teleport to pull up with me with the canyon wave and dive and take towers or end the game. So I don't really want to take sweepers. I don't care about sweepers. Like I really don't care about sweeping wards. I would leave that to support. So that's one thing I'd like doing with this play style. Um, and my kids are having fun in the background. So that's pretty much it. So far from my experience, I'm going to continue this journey and try to perfect this kind of play style in the jungle because so far I love it. I'm having fun with this. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments.